Have you ever found yourself in the constant and repetitive mental cycles of going through the quote, what would happen if, right? There's a million scenarios, million things that can happen, but you go through these mental cycles and you find yourself right back where you started, having solved absolutely nothing, but finding yourself in complete disharmony. Today, we want to get you out of the paralysis by giving you actionable and concrete steps that you can take to move beyond those mental cycles to something more productive. I'm Drew Adams, and I run a family office where we work with incredibly successful wealth creators to educate, empower, and protect what they've worked so hard for. In today's video, we're going to explore how to get a really clear vision about what winning looks like for you and how to stress test your plan against your desired outcome. I have found myself in my career so many times going through constant mental cycles, worried about this, worried about that, projecting a million different outcomes, most of which will be wrong, many components of which I have no control of. I see this with my clients all the time where they waste huge amounts of emotional energy. And at the end of the day, they spent all this time thinking about, worrying about this thing, but the reality is they actually did nothing to change or affect the outcome. They became paralyzed by the fear. As a wealth creator, I'm sure you are juggling tons of responsibilities. You find yourself doing all kinds of things because there's no one to do them. No one can do them as well as you can. It would take you longer to explain to someone else to do it than just to do it yourself. You've all probably experienced this. And as a result of that, certain things just get inherently neglected. With so much on your plate, from your business to your family to your friends, it is so easy to put off to tomorrow what really should be dealt with today. This can lead to important aspects of your enterprise being neglected, and the intermediate and long-term consequence of this can be devastating. Remember, no decision is actually a decision in and of itself. It's a decision to do nothing. Let me tell you what I mean. So often I see incredibly successful entrepreneurs focused on their business, their family, things of today that are absolutely important, but they're missing the grander scheme of what they've already built and where they're headed and what it all means and what matters and what has to happen. And they don't spend very much time really thinking about that, quite candidly, because I think it scares them. And so they're not really quite sure what to do, but they also don't have the time. They have plenty of other things that they want to do to spend their time on. But then you look at some of the things that they're doing, and they're such small ticket administrative issues that don't move the needle. And yet they're neglecting this whole other thing. It's the quintessential missing the forest for the trees. And if you focus only on the trees, you will never be prepared for those real what-if moments. So we're actually dealing with two dilemmas that come together. One is overwhelm, complete busyness. You've got family, you've got friends, hobbies, church, investments that you've made, boards you sit on, and there's just no time to do anything. And you're spending your time doing things that are probably low value. The other side of it is the worry list. You've got a million things that you worry about, and you project all kind of outcomes, many of which you probably have no control over, some of which are not realistic, and you're not really sure which ones do I need to deal with, which ones do I not, and you're probably paralyzed doing not much of anything to actually change the outcome of those worries. So I think the first thing that we need to do is we need to get real. On the one hand, we have a lot of activity. We need to audit that activity to determine what really needs to be different. You probably have some messes that you're going to have to clean up. You're the only one that can clean them up. You probably have some other messes you need to delegate. And there's probably some messes you just need to leave alone. They're for another day or potentially never. And then you need to create the worry list and decipher between what's a real legitimate concern that you can actually do something about and warrants your time to deal with it. And what's the list that is theoretical, maybe it's out there, maybe it could happen, maybe you don't have any control over it. Maybe you leave those alone for a little while. So the entire goal of this exercise is to bend the curve on how you think to create a better outcome. You have amazing capability and talent that is not being fully harnessed because of distraction and worry. You've got this list of things that needs to be done. You need to be delegating. You need to be finding people that are better at that thing than you are. You need to value your time. If you're as good as you probably think you are, and you're probably right, you're wasting your time and wasting your treasure doing things that you're not best at. Somebody can do them better. Spend the money, the time, and the energy to get someone trained to do those things. And then get real about these worries, the ones that are really legitimate and need to be dealt with. Let's forecast, run some real analysis, see what would happen if that thing happened. What would be the outcome? If you're not happy with that outcome, let's figure out what we can actually do about it. Now, I know this was a lot. If this video resonated with you, I would encourage you to share it with a friend or colleague or advisor that you can have a thought-provoking conversation with and who can maybe hold you accountable to actually execute on this process. Also, if you want us to go deeper in this topic or explore another topic, please comment below and check out the link in the description to check out other resources that we may have that can assist you. I'm Drew Adams from Addicus, and remember, wealth creates.